Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of To Each Her Own. I'm Lynn, and this is brought to you by Radyo Agila International, and we are filming in EBC's Washington, D.C. studio. I have with me Rhoze Angeles, Ronnette Nolasco, and Kristine Mariano. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
All right. Well, before we begin our topic, we actually would just like to say our hearts and condolences go out there to everyone around the world who are experiencing calamities and victims of violence around the world. We know it's a very trying time out there right now, so our hearts go out to you. All right, ladies. So we are going to begin our topic on healthy choices. This part of our segment is actually going to be about the bad things we eat, what we succumb to when we have to eat something or crave something so bad, and what led us to have maybe some diseases around the world or high rates of heart disease and cancers. So let's talk about this. What are your guilty pleasures, ladies? Actually, for me personally, it's going to be ice cream. I love ice cream, and that's just something that I always crave. So how about you, Rhoze? What's something that you...
We all scream for ice cream. I love ice cream too. My guilty pleasure, I believe, is dark chocolate. I always have to have some kind of chocolate somewhere, whether it be at the house, the office, purse, everywhere.
How many times a day do you think you eat chocolate?
Well, that's like my caffeine. That's my sugar.
Wow. Okay.
So I'd say every half hour I gotta have like a little piece of something. I know it's bad, but you know what? At least the dark chocolate makes it a little bit more, rational. That's my that's kind of like my salvation there. Okay, it's dark chocolate, so I'm okay.
So chocolate, ice cream, we all know that's sugary. Too much sugar can lead to what, ladies?
Diabetes,
right? And that is a very big thing. Common knowledge, type 2 diabetes because of the foods that we eat, right?
Yes, right. That's right.
So how about you, Ronnette? What is a guilty pleasure?
Filipino, we eat a lot of rice. I can eat, just little meat, but the rice I have to have as if it's my last meal. I have to have seconds.
Right.
But I can't. Before I got married. I get headache if I don't eat rice once a day.
How much rice do you eat in a day?
Growing up, my mom will cook the fried rice with bacon or sausage.
Garlic.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And so that's our breakfast.
Oil.
And then lunch is rice again. And then I remember my coworker. This is like my skinny days. My coworker will make fun of me. They're like, you eat rice in the morning. How can you do that? And then lunch, I will eat rice. And then dinner, I will eat rice.
So would you say like a cup, 2 cups? Relatively
maybe half a cup.
Half a cup every meal.
Every meal.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay. And carbs aren't necessarily bad for you, but too much of it is what everyone succumbs to, because that's it. Carbs are in everything, really.
Yes,
especially the junk foods, the ice cream, the chocolates.
And that's something that we really can't avoid, because part of our culture is to eat rice, because that's we were raised that way.
Exactly.
No rice, no.
It's not a meal without rice.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, in the Philippines, I remember. You know how here it's like unlimited drinks or something. In the Philippines, when I went there, they have unlimited rice. So I'm like, wow, interesting.
You can eat a whole pot of rice.
Yeah, you can buy like a little chicken, and they will, as much as rice.
Right.
Like there's this guy who go around, like, you need extra rice. You need extra rice.
And this is in the Philippines?
In the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Hi there, Philippines.
All right, and Kristine, how about you? What is a guilty pleasure of yours?
I think one thing I feel like I have too much of are lattes or frozen blended drinks that nowadays are really popular. They're in commercials and all of that. And I honestly love coffee. So, and I don't necessarily drink a lot of it. Like a cup a day is okay. But I do love to have maybe a toffee nut flavor or a hazelnut flavor. So I know a lot of that is probably bad to have every day.
Right,
so,
because it goes along the lines of us having sugar, very sugary. Right, because iced coffee or coffee in general is not so bad for you. But the sugar, the flavorings inside of it, the whipped cream,
and then the caramel.
Yeah, exactly. All the flavorings can make a drink.
And they'll look with cherry. A little healthy something. Yeah, sometimes they have that. Especially Filipino.
So heart disease is actually the #1 rated disease related to diet and eating. I know what comes with, there's a lot of ways to die, so to speak, to be frank about it. But what do you think that heart disease is #1? Why? In America,
it's probably all the junk food, because junk food here is something that is easily available for everyone. And with our lifestyle is different too, because we work, we don't have enough time to cook. I'm guilty of that.
Right.
We don't have enough time to cook. It's easy to just buy outside and you bring it home, which is really not good. And believe it or not, even though you think somebody's healthy, they work out, they look good, they look trim, they look fit, but then they have issues with their heart.
And then
that's because of that bad food that we eat every day.
Right. And then what comes close to that actually is cancer. A lot of the foods that we eat, according to studies, are genetically modified, processed. They have high corn syrup, and high sodium. So a lot of these things, or too much of it inside your body, can cause cancer. And I know cancer is a big deal amongst everyone in the nation, right?
And it's sad because we really don't have any way out, because it's available everywhere. It's there. Yes. Unless you really feed yourself into being healthy and eating healthy, then let's not work. let's just
live like how we were back in the day.
Right?
Caveman days.
Just hunt for food, right?
Yes. Okay. So actually, 37%, according to Kansas State University, 37% of Americans have cardiovascular disease. 34% have hypertension, which relates into having a stroke or heart disease, and 36% of Americans have pre-hypertension. And I know that's according can be high amongst different races. I know that I noticed according to studies that in the Filipino culture, because of how we eat, sodium is actually another one, because of a lot of the foods we eat actually has high sodium, because it's part of what we eat, you know? Like, what can you name or tell our viewers, like, what is high sodium in foods that you eat?
Oh, God.
Adobo. They'll put salt and they put soy sauce. And
garlic salt.
And Kristine, how about you? What do you know of that? Any Filipino foods that you've eaten personally?
That is really high in sodium.
Or even Italian. Italian food has a lot of sodium too.
That's true.
Just the sauce alone.
Yes,
marinade.
That's true. So I think that the sauces, so a lot of sauce, and also salads. Unfortunately, here in America, I noticed they tend to put the dressings are really heavy. They have a variety of different dressings, and in Europe, they just use vinegar and olive oil.
Yeah. That's true.
They keep it very simple, and that's one of the things that I saw when I moved in the U.S. is that they have a variety of different dressings that have just so much cream in it, or if not, different spices on top of it.
Different. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I know spices tend to make food a little bit better, but as you said, the dressings are overdone. Portions are also kind of different here in the United States and somewhere else in the country.
And it's funny, you would notice that you eat salad, but they can put bacon as a topping.
Right.
Or, it's all these other processed food as well.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so another one is 41% of the population will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. So, like I said, there was heart disease, then cancer. So, I mean, how does that make you feel that in the United States alone, 41%, that's almost half the nation. Almost half of the nation is actually succumbing to
It's
cancer.
scary. It is scary. But again, as what I've said, we're so used to eating McDonald's, pizza, Pizza Hut, well, I shouldn't say pizzas and things like that it's here. It's very easy to get. And the kids love it. We love it.
Yes,
so
we love it.
It scares me, but yet it's something that it's kind of hard to
avoid. It's like it's nothing or this.
Right. Oh, right.
Sometimes I'm like,
hunger.
Right.
Or junk. Let's go for the junk. But it's not good.
Yeah, because then my kids who grew up here, it's my son before when they were younger, he likes Filipino food, and then when he started going to school, all of a sudden he doesn't eat Filipino food.
Right.
So I'm like, sometimes I feel like, so why do I have to cook? And he will not eat it. He'd rather go out, For him, real is McDonald's or Chipotle.
Wow.
So I mean, I guess the mentality too of Americans sometimes, because it's hard here. Our lifestyle is different.
Everyone's
it's
busy.
fast paced.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I mean, Kristine, can you attest to that? Is that something that you?
Being a single woman.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed is that, for example, my coworkers, they tend to want to have a happy hour, let's say after their after work, and they go to bars and then they start drinking so much alcohol, and with alcohol comes smoking, and that all leads to cancer, of course, later on in life. If that's your lifestyle, then of course that's what it's going to lead to later on. And unfortunately, in the world we live in, that's very much abused, like almost every day. Like they're not aware of what will happen later on in life.
I know, I definitely agree with that, because just seeing that you would think maybe a car accident or being murdered on the street or something, that it has something to do with that everyday life. We have to eat to survive, right? We have to eat to function. So for it to be, how do you say, like, bad for us, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, to just eat, but you have to be critical of what you eat. It's just, it adds to the stress sometimes.
Yes,
it does. Right?
Yes, every day.
Right.
It's like, what do I feed the family today?
I know.
Pizza.
Exactly.
That stress also causes hypertension.
And that was actually mentioned, correct?
Right.
Hypertension, right? A lot of the Americans do that. So just quickly, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Will fast food be the death of us?
Interesting.
Sadly to say, probably.
You think so?
Because it's processed food.
In your opinion,
yeah, it's almost like, it's bad to say, it's like almost getting drugs. It's there, you get addicted to it, and then you have no choice but to.
But I think some of the fast food has, like, maybe
right.
They have salad, so that's what I do. I order salad. Yeah, so it's up. They said it doesn't matter. Well, it's like wise choice. I go to McDonald's, I will order the salad, the Southwest salad. Right. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's you, the one who's eating it. It's you have your choices. You have all this junk food, but then sometimes you have to wise it. Yeah, you have to choose it wisely.
Choose it wisely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and on that note,
so don't talk about bad stuff about fast food.
And on that note, we will actually save fast food topics for our next segment. We'll be right back, and thank you again for joining us to another episode of To Each Your Own. Stay tuned.
Stay healthy.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of To Each Your Own, brought to you by Radyo Agila International. We are filming in EBC's Washington, D.C. studio. Again, I have with me Rhoze, Ronnette, and Kristine.
Hi everyone.
All right, for this segment, or actually last segment, we talked about the bad, what we're guilty of, what we like, the fast food, the diseases that come with it. So now let's get into the good. Let's start it off. So, meal prepping, healthy options, and grocery shopping. we're all very, very busy people. You know, a lot of us are mothers, you know, we're single ladies working and, you know, doing good for the country. So sometimes food is in the back burner, right?
I laugh because I'm guilty. I don't cook much at home,
Right.
which is kind of sad.
Right.
But certain times, you know, you kind of feel like you got to eat healthy.
Right.
So there's still other part of myself.
Right. No.
Still think about eating healthy, believe it or not.
Right. No, I know, and I understand that. Like, I've actually done my own research and just trying to meal prep. I feel that meal prepping does save time, but it does take away from the busy life that everyone has. So you have to dedicate your time to it. As far as meal prepping go, what is something that you ladies do in your own home? It's fast food. So let's not think about that.
Let's start with Kristine.
Yeah.
Does she even meal prep?
Do you meal prep or cook at home?
Yes,
you know,
it's so meal prep nowadays is actually really popular.
Yes.
You would see that people would literally take pictures of their meals prepared for like an entire week.
Exactly.
So they start, maybe they cook on a Sunday or on a Saturday afternoon, and they're preparing their meals for throughout the following week, the upcoming week. Now there's definitely like advantages to this, and it definitely will keep you healthy, but it takes a lot of time, and you have to put a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
Like so I see it a lot on social media.
Yes.
A lot of people put it on Instagram.
Yep.
What are the things they cook? So there's just really a lot of pressure, even for the youth. And but at least that's one of the things that inspires me, is that seeing this probably will inspire other people as well to do this for a healthier lifestyle for all of us. So one of the things that I personally don't prepare for an entire week, but what you can do is change your, like, if you eat a lot of rice, as we were talking about earlier, maybe you can switch to brown rice. Or if you're eating you can probably order on wheat bread or no cheese. That's one of the things I personally do. Even though I lived in Italy and I'm always surrounded by a lot of cheese, I honestly don't like cheese. Like, I grew up not even eating cheese. So that's one of the things I do. Like, if ever I were to order a burger, I would say no cheese. And I think that is already something, like, for you to be a little bit healthier, or a step down to becoming healthier.
And on a side note, off the record, I have to disagree with Kristine. I love cheese. I want cheese on everything. You know, do you guys like cheese?
My husband and my kids.
Right.
And I said, no cheese, it's extra.
Great. And more on meal prepping, according to my research, actually, it's all about balancing your foods. So your macronutrients, you know, according to studies, macronutrients are going to be proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. That's what we're built out of. And this is what you have to balance. The reason why people have diseases or are overweight, obesity, is because they take too much in of something that's too much. So carbohydrates usually is something that's overboard, or even fats. It's probably not even healthy. So healthy fats would be your fishes, salmon, tuna, cod, mahi-mahi, things like that. As far as fats go, avocado oil, all natural nut, olive oil, all natural nut butters, and your proteins are going to be all your meats. So good meats. What meats do you guys like eating, actually?
Grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken is actually good.
Rotisserie chicken. Those are my
right. I love chicken too. So how about you?
I can eat chicken every day.
Chicken every day.
I mean, just don't tell me you've been eating chicken all day. But I can eat chicken. And I try to eat vegetable and fruits. And I mean, one of my kids love fruits. So I try to put fruits, you know, every day at home, just to make sure it's ready. Because sometimes, you know, the kids are lazy. They don't want to eat it if it's not ready. So I try to make sure I have fruits all the time. So they'll eat it. And then vegetable, I'm still working on.
Exactly. So balancing it out. And vegetables are always good to eat all the time with your meals.
Yes.
But Kristine, how about you? What is like favorite
Protein?
Protein or
I'd like to personally boil eggs.
Eggs are
and
good,
I
yes.
bring that with me as one of my healthy options on
They don't
some
say,
days.
Kristine is
No,
here.
they don't.
because usually what people do is 50% proteins, 30% carbohydrates, 20% fats. So a lot of your meals each day should be protein, because what does protein do? It fills you up faster. Because carbohydrates actually are going to lower your energy.
Yep.
Yeah, it uses up that energy first, rather than protein. It's slowly going up throughout the day, so it keeps you fuller longer. And another good protein source is nuts. So what kind of nuts are there? Almonds.
Almonds, I love
Raw.
almonds.
I heard that
Yeah.
raw,
Mhm.
like raw nuts is better.
Right.
It's better.
Nothing with the honey or salted and caramel. You can't do that, ladies. You can't do that. Right. Okay. So when you go grocery shopping, actually, do you prefer organic, non-organic, grass-fed, grain-fed?
Bread.
Uh-huh.
Too much information.
There's a lot of information out there.
I know.
ladies.
Sometimes for me, it's like a mental thing.
Okay.
You know, I'll go right there. Oh, this organic. Oh, so I guess this is better. But I just heard today that brown eggs and white eggs,
According to studies, right.
is the same. So I'm like, from now on, I'll just buy the cheaper one.
What's on sale?
Whatever's
right,
on
ladies?
sale. That's right.
I mean, what kind of eggs do you prefer? You like the brown or the white, Kristine? Or does it even matter to you?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Do you do egg whites?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Actually, if I do want to fry an egg, I try not to eat the yellow part.
that's my favorite
The
part.
yellow- That's
love
everyone's favorite part. When you're young, probably when I was like younger, like 10 years old, like I would eat everything. But now that I've been reading and like you just see like, okay, these are the healthier options. So like try to avoid yellow or like just eat egg
she's
whites.
good.
Right,
I
right.
never
No,
think
there's
about
no
this
egg.
when I was like young.
Yeah.
I would just eat whatever.
Right. No, I know, because it's actually a big movement for the past few years, at least in America, because the rate of obesity has gone up and is going up so high for Americans nowadays. So there's a lot of fitness and organic and just eating healthy lately. Actually, I see in exercising in DC, there's so many joggers out there.
I know.
Everywhere
it keeps
you
you
go,
motivated.
every day, any time
Yes.
of the day, there's plenty of people just running. on
Even
their
in the
own.
heat.
In the heat,
So
I know
cool.
the
I-
crazy humidity here.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, for
I
me-
envy them. I'm jealous.
for me personally, I've actually been trying to day. You know, it's healthy, keeps you in good shape,
It's-
and
keep you sane.
sometimes you can sneak in a little cheat meal.
I know. I run today. I deserve this.
Right, Kristine, what are your thoughts on running or exercising, and a lot paired with healthy eating?
Yes, actually, one of the things that you were mentioning earlier is balance.
Yes.
I think it's also about how you prepare your meals.
Okay.
So definitely try to avoid too much salt.
Yes.
Change the type of oil you're using to olive oil if you're
Olive oil,
going to
yeah.
stir fry or something like that, as well as boiling. So as I just mentioned, boiled eggs.
Right.
Instead of fried eggs, boil some eggs and maybe take that with you to work together with some brown rice. And I know it's really hard because we're used to so much flavor.
Yes.
As young people, like we tend to just want to
Are you
just
saying that we're old?
no, absolutely not. I'm trying to teach, and you guys are
That's
trying to teach
good.
me, which is great. So yes, you can. It's all about prepping your meal.
Prepping your meal.
Yes, and
Which is sometimes it's hard.
No, and I understand that, because as you two mentioned, you're very busy, as I can see, and it's hard to, make the meals throughout the whole week.
Yes.
And one of the
even
things
come
too
home.
is the smoothie. Now, we all have
An
kids.
easy
so
way,
it's
exactly.
Easy
Go on.
way to prep things for them without them knowing that there's vegetable in it. So you blend things together.
Yep.
Fruit,
Mhm.
vegetable, and you can even buy stuff now
Right.
that comes in a packet of things that you can blend.
That's
so
great.
it's
That is
like,
so great.
I've mentioned to you, the same thing with my kids. They didn't even realize that there's kale on the smoothie that
and that's
we
a
made.
superfood, actually.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. And they ate them. They're like, wow, this tastes good.
Right.
So that's a good way of kind of hiding the vegetable and that your kids will eat.
And a lot of people do like shakes because it's on the go and it'll keep you full for a while to your next meal.
Mentally too, it makes us feel like, hey, I'm eating something healthy today.
Right.
Even though.
And according to bodybuilding websites, online sources for healthy eats, they actually suggest that you should eat every 3-4 hours.
That's what
there's a myth. Yeah. There's a myth that people think that you're supposed to starve yourself.
I know.
Only skip breakfast don't eat, just 3 meals or 2 meals.
Yeah, my cousin is a trainer. She told me that.
Exactly, like you should. You actually should be eating every 3-4 meals, and it doesn't even have to be huge. It doesn't have to be like big gargantuan plates of food. You know what I mean? It just, like you said, balance, portion out. And it's just a small meal, whether it's just like a handful of nuts and a shake. There you go. You're ready for your next meal because it'll keep you full, right?
Or a Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt,
yogurt. Or any type of yogurt really is fine.
Yeah, because it's high in protein, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You've got everything and just one small little snack that you can bring with you easily at work.
And actually, reading nutrition labels is a good idea to
find.
And that is fine.
I'm like, this looks good. I know, and then there are some people, at the grocery store, they're like reading it.
You're a marketer's dream.
Yes,
guys, ladies.
We're like, oh, that looks good. We'll get that one.
Yeah,
it's on sale. We'll get this one.
And I actually love meal prepping because I started out with this, just maybe a month ago, and I'm trying it out to see if I could do it. And I have to say it's kind of hard because it portions out your meals. Mm-hmm. So like you feel hungry sometimes because your body's just not used to it. You're used to just kind of overeating or stuffing yourself because it's just so good, right, ladies? Yes, definitely.
Keep us posted if it did improve.
So I forgot to mention, actually, organic is something that doesn't have pesticides or is actually cage-free, free-range, grass-fed beef versus something that is non-organic. Is that something that you ladies like to shop for? And if so, what do you buy? Okay, so what do you buy?
We do buy organic eggs, which hoping that
good.
Organic fruit.
Organic fruit. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Ronnette?
Vegetable. Try to organic.
Organic.
And
Yes.
And fruits.
Fruits. Yeah. Farmers market. Do you do something like that?
Well, Trader Joe's or one of the Wegmans.
Right. No, it's okay. No, but I agree. I definitely agree. How about you, Kristine?
Unfortunately, I'm on a budget.
Okay.
I'm still young, so
You're so good.
I haven't even gotten into reading organic or I know there's a difference, but I try to save my money.
Good. No, that's fine.
That's
hard. And there's some people that don't.
I'm not very picky when it comes to that, and I know I should probably look into it. And thank you, ladies, for giving me advice on maybe I should look into organic as well. But as of now, I haven't really bought organic as much. Yes.
Okay, and there's some people out there that don't have that type of preference. Yes. So actually, on that note, when we come back, we will talk about our children, obesity in children nowadays, and what we do with our family to be better at healthy eating for our whole family. So stay tuned.
We'll be back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Eat Your Own by Radyo Agila International, and we are filming in EDC's Washington, D.C. studio. Again, I'm Lynn, Rhoze, Ronnette, Kristine. All right, ladies. So last segment, we actually talked about the good. Meal prepping, healthier options, organic versus non-organic. So now let's incorporate our families more. So according to, the study from the CDC, which is Centers of Disease Control, there has been a study about childhood obesity. And that's actually a really big deal because, like we said in the last segment, fitness and healthier options are coming out now because I guess before, according to the studies, they see that our children are getting into those habits too, and so they want to change it. So actually 17% between the ages of 2 and 19 years of age obesity affects more than 13 million people in the nation.
Wow.
Yes, and that is actually very scary.
That's yes.
What are your thoughts about that?
Again, I've said this before. Bad mothers. I'm just kidding. You don't cook at home. Not eating unhealthy food.
Busy life.
And again, all the fast food choices that we have here in the U.S.
Portions.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's probably one of the reasons why obesity is out here.
Right. How about you?
Yeah, for me, I think it's the technology. You know how
true
the kids now, they rather just sit down and play video games or like watch a movie instead of, and like us, like we grew up in the Philippines, it's like a treat for us to go outside or like play outside. Here, you know, it's like go to the park, but then they're like, it's too hot. Oh, it's too cold. And then they rather just play their video games. So I think not a lot of activities make them really fat and obese.
Or obese, right? And how about you, Kristine? You know, relatively young and then growing up as a child in a different country. What are those stats to you? What I just read to you? What does that mean to you, or how do you see that?
So along in the same lines with what Ronnette said, we're in a society where social media is very popular.
Right.
Like, and a lot of people are constantly on their phones. Sometimes I'm at the
guilty.
I'm definitely guilty, but I'm on the train sometimes, or on the bus, or just at work. And when I take a break, all I see is people are on their phones.
Yes.
So I think that's definitely a negative, because nowadays, instead of you probably going to the gym or if you're at home and you have some free time, instead of you sitting, that's what they were saying, on the couch, you should probably get on the floor and do some exercises. But people tend to, when they want to relax, they just look at their phones and they spend a lot of time scrolling on that newsfeed.
Right.
And instead of doing that, that's one thing that I guess we're not getting any better. I feel like it's not getting any better. And
but we're trying as a nation, right?
Yeah.
We're trying as a nation to get those numbers very low.
Although the social media sometimes help you get motivated. I'm like, oh, she's skinny. Oh, this is what she's eating right now.
Transformation
Tuesday.
And
I'm like, yeah. So, you know, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I can do that. But then again, you know,
it's easier said than done.
Right?
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. And so I know we have children, right? They're of school age.
Yes.
What do you give to your children? You know, tell us the personal story.
Personal story. I'm so.
You're not a bit on that.
Not a bad
we both don't like this stuff.
I'm so guilty of that. I have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old. My 10-year-old is more into, Mom, I'll buy food at the cafeteria. Okay. But my 6-year-old he's new. He just started kindergarten, so he's still kind of like, don't want to fall in line and just want to get it over with, be with their, with his friends. So most of the time I do Nutella bread.
Okay.
Or peanut butter.
Okay, peanut butter. Peanut butter isn't bad.
It's not, but if you do it so often enough. But I do egg salad sometimes. Egg salad, or they love pepperoni and cheese on bread.
On a bread, right? Okay.
I do that, or I do tortilla. Like I'll put cheese and a little bit of the
and I'm sorry, is this something that you prep for your kid when he goes to school, or as his lunch?
As his lunch.
Okay.
As his lunch. Well, it's the same thing. Because they stay at school till the afternoon, so it's literally their lunch.
Okay. So, do they ever eat in the cafeteria?
My older one, the 10-year-old, he does.
Okay. So, what type of foods does he tell you that he eats?
Pizza.
Okay, pizza.
Mac and cheese. Those are the things that's available at school.
Okay.
But they do have a proportion that they have fruit. And milk and whatnot. I give him water.
Water's healthy.
Water and a snack bar. Right. Like a little chocolate bar as their dessert, which is, it's not bad.
Kristine, when you were younger, what would your parents prepare for you, or what do you remember as a child?
Okay, so thanks to my parents, I think I decided like it is healthier to bring something from home rather than buying something at the school lunch cafeteria.
So you please talk to my kids.
So my mom would usually just prepare they don't have that here, I noticed. It's like a fruit box juice, and what they have here is like fruit punch but there they have pear, like they have orange peach juice.
Wow.
And that's actually, I'm talking about it back in Italy.
Right.
So she would like just put like a box juice as well as a
Boiled
very
eggs.
simple
Boiled
sandwich.
eggs, as you mentioned.
A very simple sandwich with just ham and bread and maybe a little bit of mayo or something like that. I remember.
So that's pretty good. It's healthy,
Yes,
you know.
and definitely like a fruit. She would always put a fruit in my lunchbox. So I definitely love those options. And one thing that I noticed when I started going to school here is, as Rhoze was saying, like the options are not very good at times. And that's why maybe what we should do for the kids nowadays is prepare their meals if possible in the morning, rather than them buying just anything. And then later on, as you said, the problem of obesity comes later on.
I think we have a super mom in the making.
I know, right? That's right. I'm like, ooh.
That's good, and that's very good that you have that mentality, because you'll be one of the people that will lower that rate of obesity in the nation.
And I'll definitely remember the boiled eggs. That's
Yeah.
my children's
Rhoze,
meal.
how about your children? How old are they? What do you prep for them? What do they buy? What do they eat in school?
Well, I have twins. Now they're 14.
Okay.
They're both different. I mean, my daughter, she likes to bring food from home when she was younger. So that's easy. Like I'll prepare like sandwich and then like chips and then fruit juice. And then I'll try to put sneak in like carrots, but then they're like, yeah, I'd rather eat the apple.
Right.
But my son never like really bring food from home. I don't know. It's a mental.
He's a cool dude.
I know. I don't understand.
So he
that.
likes to
to buy.
at the school cafeteria.
Yes,
And what do they serve?
Right now with the Michelle Obama's program, they try to be healthy.
Good.
So I think when I went over there one time, they have everything, like little portion of everything.
Great.
So they have like salad, they have dessert, they have milk. So the only drink that you can buy there is like water or milk.
Great.
So I mean, they have the cookie, but then it's like a little cookie, it's small cookie. So I mean, he tries to to be.
He has incorporated those healthy tips and
trying.
options.
Yes.
Right.
Well, but then again, he's very active, so I always think that okay, so you deserve that.
Yeah. Good. That's really good. That's really good that you guys are incorporating, or at least trying with your children, and in the future for Kristine. Actually, my children, I have twins as well. They are almost 2. Ooh. And I am feeding them solid foods, of course. And I actually am being healthy because me and my spouse actually like to do that. So we don't give them candies, donuts, Yeah, so they don't really know that. When grandma does come around, though, I have to say it gets derailed a little bit. Yeah. But we actually give them, fruits and healthier options, whole grain bread, milk. They don't drink fruit juice yet, or
they don't.
No, and none of that, or soda.
That's good.
It's either water or milk, and instilling that in their head. And I actually was telling Kristine in our break that I actually want to, I don't want to deprive them of junk food.
That's what I'm
right, because if you deprive a child of that, and they get, according to studies that I've actually read, that if you deprive a child of junk food or of those things, and they get a hold of it somehow, they tend to go overboard.
I know a girl like that.
Really? Okay.
She can't, she can't have like any sweet from like home.
Okay.
So like when I see her at the party, without the parents, she will like put everything in her mouth.
Oh my gosh.
How
old is she?
Is it? It's like, well, now she's a teenager.
Okay.
So I mean,
yeah, right.
Yeah. So I feel like if I do that to my kids, I feel like I guess it depends. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to be a parent.
No, I completely understand that.
But they said it's also good that you train them when they're young.
Yes,
that's true. And that goes with everything, right?
That's right. Yes.
Because I know somebody that eats just carrots as a snack.
Right.
Because they're so used to eating that with their parents when they're younger. They eat carrots for snacks and celery for snacks. So, which I hope I did know.
Younger. And that is, totally fine. I mean, I know that my youngest twin, she actually started to like pickles.
Oh,
Pickles
that's
are pretty good for
good,
you,
yes,
you know.
yes.
And I thought as a child I
Why
wouldn't
would
like
you
that. Right? But actually, they actually like it, and you know, we give them sometimes the more sugary cereals. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Each Your Own, brought to you by Radyo Agila International, filming in EBC's Washington, D.C. studio. Again, I'm Lynn, Rhoze, Ronnette, and Kristine. All right, ladies, so last segment, or the past couple segments, we've been talking about guilty pleasures, healthier options, meal preps, what we do for our kids. Now, before we start talking about alternatives to just dieting, what are other options for our guilty pleasures? For me, ice cream, frozen yogurt is a better option, as well as frozen bananas. How about you, Rhoze?
Mine doesn't have an alternative option.
Mm-hmm.
Dark chocolate, I guess I just have to proportion it, make sure that I only eat a little bit of it at a time.
Right. Okay. And then Ronnette?
For me, I guess I should just eat brown rice. But now I started eating brown rice or the quinoa. That's a good, alternative.
Right.
So,
And cauliflower rice.
Cauliflower, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And Kristine?
Yes, as I mentioned, like for people that love iced coffees or lattes in the morning, I guess you can watch what milk you put into it, or the flavors that you want to add into it. So maybe you can try to avoid that, or try to avoid it one day, or switch it up a little bit. If you're putting some creamer, then don't put a lot of the flavors that they usually add into it, or syrups, because that's one thing, they put a lot of syrup.
That's true.
That's right.
And that's great. So I hope everyone listened and remembered those alternatives for our guilty pleasures at least. So now, besides dieting and healthy options, what is something that we do that's what maybe I could say better than dieting? Fitness, right?
Fitness,
exercising,
yes, that's right.
Yes. Exercising is gonna take the calories away, right? So for me personally, I love to run maybe 2 miles a day.
Oh, wow.
I do it with my husband. We just run around the block. Sometimes we push the kids with the stroller, and it's harder than you think, ladies. So
That's right.
that's definitely a good option there. How about you, Kristine? What do you like to do for exercise?
Well, so I do exercise. I try to be consistent.
Good.
So that's one of the things you should try to aim for. Be consistent for a healthier lifestyle. Now, what I like to do at the gym, I know maybe a lot of you go to the gym, and sometimes maybe instead of spending so much time on the treadmill or doing a lot of cardio, try other options. Nowadays on YouTube or anywhere on the internet, you can find workouts out there.
Okay.
You don't have to make it up. You can study the workout, and especially if you're trying to work on some parts of your body that you want to enhance, or if not trim down, then there's always a lot of workouts out there that you can look into. But one thing I like to do is lifting weights. I think it's more efficient when it comes to trying to lose weight on some parts of your body.
Right.
Repetition, when it comes to if you want to cut, all you do is repetition. And if you're trying to get bigger, just higher weights.
And personally, I actually, to jump off of that,
They're a fitness person.
They're pros.
I actually do like to lift weights as well. I go to the gym maybe every other day lifting. And just to also be more elaborate, when Kristine says workouts, it's kind of like circuit training. So when she mentions different parts of her bodies, we do maybe squats, deadlifts.
What's deadlifts?
Deadlifts are actually lifting the weight through your legs. It will, and you just lift dead weight from the ground and pull up.
Oh wow!
Yes.
And it's a total body workout.
It's a total body workout. It works your core, works your legs, works your glutes, works your arms.
I don't know about you. I'm 21.
We might come home with arthritis later.
It makes you sweat a lot more. Doing probably like 5 to 10 deadlifts makes you sweat a lot more than being for like
30 minutes on
30
cardio.
minutes on that.
Yes, definitely. So definitely, ladies here, Rhoze and Ronnette, I suggest, because you look at us in the studio, and we're crazy.
You get a hardcore.
No, that's good. But you know, okay, so we lift weights and we run. How about, what are your alternatives for exercising? Or for dieting, rather?
I'm old, so I only walk.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with walking.
Walking is better than not doing anything.
How long do you walk for?
That's a good question. It depends on the day.
Okay.
If it's nice and sunny, maybe a good half hour to 45 minutes.
Great.
But if it's raining at home, we do Zumba instead.
Good.
Well, I do. My kids look at me like I'm crazy, but I do like to dance.
Good.
So Zumba for me is another way of kind of release your stress. Because it does make you gain more energy after you had something like that. You would say a workout.
Right.
For me, that's what I do.
So when you're walking with your children, what do you do?
We bond.
Or your children and your husband.
Yeah, that's actually a good way for us to kind of bond together because we talk, we walk, we talk, and we're like, hey, let's go look at this house. Hey, we also do it at the neighborhood, so it's easy for us. So we walk. Once in a while, I'll tell my kids to ride the bike, but then they're like, no, mom, we'll just walk.
Great. Okay, Ronnette, how about you? What is your personal experience with fitness?
Well, my husband and my kids are like adventurous. They like outdoor stuff.
Good.
So, and then they kind of like motivate me because, personally, I like to sleep.
Yes.
But then, I want to, just a family bonding, and then it's fun to like do something together. So one time we went for a hike, our first time. Oh my God.
Right.
We didn't know. That's how bad it is.
Right.
And so I didn't know we were going to do it because I just told my husband, I said, let's go have a mental health day and let's do a hike. And he's like, okay. So we did. But then we didn't know. We're not prepared. Okay. We didn't have any water.
Oh no!
Thank God it was. It's in winter time, so we're not really that. It wasn't hot and dehydrated.
Okay,
and then of course we didn't know where we were going, so we got lost twice.
No.
But it was fun. We had a good time. Although we're like, oh my God.
How long were you out there?
It was a 3-mile run. But then again, walk. But it took us. Is it 3 miles or 5 miles? But they said on a standard, the pace it will take 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
So it took us how long? 5 hours. But we stopped. We stopped.
Right.
We take a break. I'm like, okay, and then we see all these people with the energy bar, and they're drinking water. I'm like,
that's another great tip. Always drink water.
Yes,
always drink water.
Don't forget, especially when you hike. And then they have this energy bar. So I'm like, oh, can I have some of that? But it really motivates you. Like you feel good, and like you see nature. And I'm not an outdoor person, but then now I enjoyed it. So now I feel like I want to do that often.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah, and I go to the gym once in a while.
Great.
Yeah. So
by yourself or with your family?
By myself. I do it at work. But then again, me and my husband has a deal, so we're gonna continue it now.
Good. Awesome.
So it's hard at the beginning, but then again, you feel good after.
It's very rewarding, everyone.
Yes,
it's very rewarding to accomplish something for yourself, even if it's such a small goal, like just going to the gym and sweating for 30 minutes.
Yes. And believe it or not, you feel more energetic after your workout.
Actually,
sometimes that's my excuse. I'm like, I'm too tired to even go out for a walk or to even do anything. But then when you do it, you really feel more energy. You have more energy in your body, and you just really have to motivate yourself into doing it.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome, ladies, that you actually have, those great tips for everyone. And, for my personal experience with hiking, I'm not a hiker. I hiked in my last vacation in Hawaii because my sister loves doing that. We hiked like 4 mountains or something like that.
Wow.
And that is crazy. Hiking is serious because there's a lot of it's like rock climbing almost.
Yes.
It's not just one tread with a.
And also I didn't have the right shoes when we went.
Yes.
So I'm like,
proper attire, right?
Yes,
Because when you do fitness, you have to have breathable clothing, good walking shoes. Does anyone else have experiences with hiking? Because this is a great story.
Sorry.
Kristine, any arduous journeys that you've encountered?
Actually, I was listening to what you were saying.
Okay.
And it truly does require a change in life. In order for you to want to be healthier in life, you have to, as I said earlier, commit yourself and definitely switch to healthier options. And for those people maybe who don't really work out or they feel like they don't have time to work out, honestly, nowadays there are no excuses.
Yeah.
You can simply clean your house, vacuuming,
That's true.
sleeping outside.
Okay, so I'm exercising.
Yes.
Yard work, I heard, burns a lot of
Yes.
calories.
Sometimes I rake the leaves outside, and that
go.
just takes a lot of your arm workout as well as mowing the lawn. So I think there are no excuses to really be healthier in life. You can find all of these options and nowadays it's so hot. So you tend to sweat more by doing.
Well, that's my problem. My husband does the lawn. That's his territory.
Right.
My territory is inside the house.
Good.
So I don't go outside, which is
Right.
now, thinking about it, it's true. It's a good workout. But what about for us who hates to be in the heat?
Go inside the house and then you turn
You
on
have
a
a
video. Go to
Zumba.
video.
Yeah, Zumba, I guess.
Dance.
Or if I really want to get brownie points for my husband, I could come out and help him for a little bit.
That's true. That's true. You gotta help the family.
Yes.
You can shine your pavement at home, or maybe you're I really experience just shining
Every single
furniture.
Yes.
It takes a while to do that.
Yes.
I used to use Pledge on my floor because I think it's very shiny. But my husband's like, "You're gonna kill one of us one of these days because you're using the Pledge because it was so slippery." But then it looks so good when you after.
Did you feel good when
I did.
besides
I do.
clean, but because inside your body is doing some work.
Exactly.
You were expending a lot more energy, correct?
Yep. And
That's
that's my gym. My gym is
And that is great.
and the vacuum is my lifts. That's my heavy and my weights.
Right. So, with your kids, and I know in our last segment what else did we talk about with our children? How do we want to incorporate them in making better choices for exercise?
Chores.
Chores.
Time to do chores
perfect.
at home.
Or I make them go outside.
Make them
Then
go
we go
outside, right?
Like I say, walk, or my son loves to play basketball. So
Good.
I try to make him tell his sister that, bring her and do something at work, something productive. Or I'll tell them, vacuum the house today to
Right.
make it, especially now, summertime. So
Right.
I just instead of them being in the video games or just on the phone
exactly.
watching. So I said, do something productive, vacuum the house. They're like,
All right, everyone. On that note, we come to an end of our episode of To Each Her Own. We thank you, everyone, for allowing us to be with you guys and share these healthy tips with everybody. The ladies here gave very great advices, and I hope you guys loved it. Please stay tuned for our fashion statement with me and Kristine, which will be talking about a lot about clothing and what to wear for certain body types. That will be our first episode. And also from Sarah Nackman, who unfortunately was not able to join us today, but she has her own show with the EBC family called Tips, Trends, and Fun Finds by Sarah. I'm sorry, excuse me. And then also Kristine has her show, How Not to Get Lost in Translation, Italian edition. Next up will be Lawyer Up, so please stay tuned and listen for that. And we hope you guys enjoy this once again. I'm Lynn.
Rhoze, Ronnette, hope you enjoy our show.
And Kristine, keep active.
All right,
That's right.
everyone.
Eat
Thank
healthy.
you very much, everyone. We'll see you guys next episode.
Bye.